Hello everyone and welcome back to Luxury Lifestyle X. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our insights into the importance of emotional and physical connection with luxury. Let's get started. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Saint Laurent, Gucci. These are just some of the brands belonging to major luxury conglomerates LVMH and Kering. Positioned at the forefront of the global luxury market, these conglomerates are hugely responsible for the industry's staggering $397 billion market valuation. From clothing and handbags to jewelry and watches, these conglomerates, alongside a few independent houses, stand as the driving forces behind the most coveted and elite luxury products. This industry is a powerhouse. Just to provide you with further insight, LVMH CEO Bernard Arnault, whose estimated net worth is $200 billion, made his first appearance on the Forbes billionaire list in 1997. The conglomerateur briefly even claimed the title of the richest person alive in April, surpassing tech giant Elon Musk. But who exactly makes up the clientele of these huge conglomerates? Who shoulders the weight of that giant $397 billion valuation? Is it the elite, the upper class? Surprisingly, no. It's predominantly the upper middle class that sustains the industry.
We don't sell most Louis Vuitton products to rich people. It is to people who have money and want to indulge themselves.
So the question becomes, why aren't the mega-rich immersing themselves into this industry as enthusiastically as their middle-class counterparts? Why are they denying themselves those sweet offerings from Louis Vuitton or Saint Laurent? Why are the 1% not buying luxury? But before we answer those questions, let's define what a luxury product actually is. I always wonder what the process is like creating these pieces. It almost looks like the universe, there's a life inside. While there are lots, and I mean a lot, of definitions for what qualifies a product to be considered luxury, the most common criteria usually comes down to three things: a premium price point that creates a high barrier to entry, incredible craftsmanship with exceptional attention to detail, and a distinct capability to function as a symbol denoting wealth. And more specifically, distinction. All successful brands within the realm of luxury are able to offer these services in one way or another. That being said, there is still a complex hierarchical web at play. So let's begin at the basic level by categorizing them into financial groups. The biggest luxury houses, the ones that come to mind when most people picture luxury, fall into the category we'll refer to as the major league. Examples in this league include Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci, and Chanel. All these brands either already have or are on track to achieve annual revenues of $10 billion. The standout in this group is undoubtedly LVMH's Louis Vuitton, which this year made history as the first luxury fashion brand to attain an annual revenue of $20 billion. These brands, as head of their industry, typically lead the trends that we see both on the streets. Their mission goes beyond merely creating luxury. They strive to push the boundaries of creativity itself. The next group of luxury houses is what we'll refer to as the minor league. Most luxury brands find their places in this category, but even in this league there is a spectrum, both financial and creative. Some brands are well known to the general public, whereas others are more obscure, limited to fashion enthusiasts and people with enough money to buy luxury products. The more well-known and financially successful brands in this group generate around $2 to $5 billion in annual revenue. A few brands under this section are Celine, Saint Laurent, Armani, and Balenciaga. This subdivision in the minor league mirrors the major league in that, similar to most major league brands, some are very much interested in a boundary-pushing and more artistic vision of fashion. But it differs in that certain brands focus more on maintaining a traditional identity, aiming to conserve specific codes of dress. The other half of the minor league is made up of brands not widely recognized by the general public but still hold prominence within the fashion industry. These brands cultivate their own niche of luxury consumers and typically generate annual revenues under $2 billion. Examples in this group include Doro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, Bottega Veneta, and Louis Vuitton. Most of these brands fall under the category of quiet luxury. This will be important later. But some brands like Bottega Veneta and Louis Vuitton are typically considered to be artistic rather than traditional houses. Despite this, both brands are still associated with the rigid, quiet luxury movement because they offer products that align with the style's philosophy. Both brands seem to have ambitions of transitioning to the other half of the minor league, aiming to generate over $2 billion in revenue in the coming years and attain broader recognition beyond their niche. An example of a transformation of this type can be found in Celine. Under Hedi Slimani's stewardship, the French house went from being a relatively niche $500 million brand to a global powerhouse, raking in over $2 billion in revenue annually. Instead, they spend their money on select minor league brands, with a few exceptions that we'll touch on later, that all fall within or intersect with the realm of quiet luxury. Quiet luxury is a fashion aesthetic coined to challenge the typical style associated with wealthy groups of people. It's completely understated and subdued. See, there are multiple variations of quiet luxury, but the recurring motifs within them are all subtle usage of, or no logos, a subdued or achromatic color palette, and no flamboyant designs. Of course, there are ways to experiment and play around with these elements and still embody the aesthetic, especially when it comes to embellishments, accessories, and aristocratic colorways such as gold and silver. But essentially, the aesthetic is about elevating normal clothes to offer an if you know type of distinction. And why is this distinction important to the 1%? Sign value. See, sign value, a term French sociologist Jean Baudrillard coined, functions as the cornerstone of a luxury product. This is why most luxury houses make it a point to hire creative directors with experience in fashion designing, because when they create these unique collections, they get a lot of coverage on social media and in the press. This ultimately results in the brand accumulating cultural capital, which is essentially the most important factor for consumers when evaluating a product's sign value. By purchasing a product with high sign value, consumers accumulate cultural capital and elevate themselves within a specific social group. The thing is, as a consequence of the major leagues' position at the forefront of the luxury industry, the demand for their products transcends class lines. This results in said brands gaining more cultural capital but less economic capital due to overexposure. And as these brands become more accessible, they get an automatic downgrade in sign value. Now, in comparison, minor league brands, specifically the ones within the realm of quiet luxury, appeal to the upper class because of their inconspicuous nature. Their products are highly coveted, not only because of their high level of craftsmanship, but also because of their sheer lack of logos and overt branding. This signals to the upper class that the product belongs to someone in the know. Basically, if you have the product, then you're in the same elite club as others who share the same appreciation for subtlety. This practice is often referred to as conspicuous consumption, and it's how the upper class manages to distinguish itself from the middle class. There is also the existence of super league brands, or more precisely, groups that create custom bespoke products for individual clients that require months to create, such as haute couture houses. These custom products are not only incredibly expensive but also highly sought after. Because they're not mass-produced, they naturally attain more sign value. While it's true that major league brands create bespoke products and haute couture lines, these are typically offered to top clients by invitation only. Ultimately, this enables the super league brands to retain their exclusivity and sign value. And this brings us to the conclusion of our deep dive into the reasons behind why the 1% tend to shy away from major league brands and instead gravitate toward quieter, more exclusive luxury houses. Remember, luxury is as much about what you don't see as it is about what you do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe for more insights into the world of luxury.